Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I have made a video. As you can tell, it's a little bit different this time around than it normally is. Um, Summer hit, we opened up our pool, we were living our lives, and honestly, budgeting fell to the wayside. It shouldn't have, but it did. We didn't pay anything really extra towards our debt. We were just sort of living life. I fell back into the old way of doing things where basically we would get paid, I'd pay bills, and then everything else would just go on the credit card. And we didn't, the way I described it to my husband is we weren't necessarily behind, but we weren't ahead like we were before. So, like before, I was trying to pay it weekly so we could keep our credit card budget or our balance down. Right now, the spot we're sitting in, our budget is not where I would like it to be. So I'm going to kind of break it down for you guys a little bit. We'll go over what I'm going to be doing this time around. I'm changing things around a little bit. I thought about making a really nice printed out one like I did before, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to be real and honest with you guys on what we're doing. This is how I'm budgeting right now. I understand that I'm going to say, like I normally do, what we spend is not what everybody else spends. People are going to think we're doing our money wrong. It's our money to do with as we please, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's our finances. We're not asking anyone else to pay for it. We're paying for it. So, it is what it is. That being said, I am going old school this time. We are doing paper and pen. Bought myself a fancy 5-star out of the clearance section for $1. So I'm already noticed because right now it is the 12th. So we're already past week 1 of October. And I thought about waiting until November to get started with this, but I figured, you know what? Let's just jump into it together. And hopefully I will stick with keeping uploads going. From the time I last uploaded a video, I actually did record a few more. I just never actually edited them and put them up. So here we be. Also, we are going to disregard the ugly state of my nails. I know they look bad. I decided quite a while ago I just didn't want to get my nails done anymore. And so they are growing out because I have learned that if I take the gel polish off, my nails just split and crack like crazy and it's bad. So we're going to ignore that. We're going to look at it as it's saving money because I'm not getting my nails done anymore. At least for right now. I'm sure I will again in the future. But the way we have our budget set up right now, let's go over the budget real quick and then I'll go over our goals moving forward and what has changed in our lives. Actually, let's just jump right into what has changed in our lives because I feel like a lot has changed and is going to be changing. I can't remember if I said before in my videos that I'm trying to think. No, I don't think you guys would have known about it. So I was a teller before. I still work for the same financial institution. I just have moved into a different position. I now have an office job, kind of. I'm in a back office. So I'm no longer forward facing with the public, which I actually really prefer. My commute is farther, however, where before I was only like 3 minutes away from work. And now I'm about a 45 minute drive to work. Not looking forward to that in these winter time that's coming up, but when I moved into that position, it was a part-time position. It is currently a part-time position. However, just this last week, my manager asked me if I would like to move to full-time. And I talked with Dane, and we decided that I am going to move to full-time. There's a couple of different reasons for that, mainly money. I can make more money by working more hours. There's going to be a change coming up with Dane's pay. He put his 2 weeks notice in, and he is got about a week left, and then he is moving into a completely different career path. He is going to be a car salesman. That's what he wants to do, so he's pursuing it. We're giving it 6 months to see if he can make money at it. If he can, that's great. He can continue to do it. If not, he's going to go back to what he's doing right now. Other changes. Our niece, if you remember before, was renting our old home, and she paid for quite a few things with her rent. So she paid for the HELOC, she paid for propane, electricity, the taxes. Basically, if there was a bill that came up for that house, her rent paid for it. She just recently moved out, and so we are in the process of fixing up a few things, and then we're going to list our old home. When we sell that, depending on how much we're able to sell it for, will depend on how much of our debt we can pay off with it. So we're looking forward to getting it sold. Hopefully for on the higher end. We will be paying off. So on the low end, I'll give you kind of a rough estimate. On the low end, if we sell it, we're going to pay off our HELOC, and we're going to pay off the tractor. In the medium end, we'll pay off the HELOC and the 40 acres, and if we sell it for enough, which would be amazing, we're going to pay off all 3. So that's our plan with selling the house. Obviously, we have to pay off the HELOC. That is on that property, so that will have to be paid off. And then whatever we have left, we'll pay for one of these, if not both. So we're very excited about that. It was nice having her live there, and she was a good tenant. She always paid on time and everything. But I'm excited to not have that debt on our books anymore. To be able to get rid of that and something else, maybe 2 other things, will be amazing. So that will also depend on how things go with Dane's new path. So we're giving it a try. We're giving it 6 months, and we'll see where we are at. Hopefully I will keep with this, and you guys will see where we go too. But I decided I'm going to switch things up a little bit, and we're going to go with more. So I'm going to do more of a cash stuffing style, but without the actual cash. So I ordered these. I'm very excited. I ordered these. They have the envelopes in them and stuff, and I'm going to do cashless cash stuffing. So I ordered some crop bills, and we're going to use this to keep a visual representation of it, because I enjoy the cash stuffing aspect of it, but I'm not interested in dealing in actual cash. We will still be using our credit cards. So that's where we've kind of fallen behind a little bit. So let's move into goals, I guess, next. We'll do the budget and go over that last. So our financial goals moving forward, number 1 is we want to get our credit card back to a 0 balance and be paying it weekly. So when I told Dane that we are not behind so much to say, but we're not ahead, by that I mean we are spending our money this month and we're paying for it next month. We're not paying any interest on it, which is the only bright side to that. But we're now going to be going into a period of time where he's going to be starting out at this, and he's not going to be making a lot of money. And so I'm not super excited about having that balance on there. We want to get that paid off. So that is our first goal, is to get our credit cards down to $0. We're still going to use them so that we're getting that cash back, and it's just easier. I don't like using my debit card. If you're responsible with them, it's actually safer to use a credit card because you're not out your actual cash. They don't have access to your actual bank account if someone were to hack your card. So get that to 0. That's the first goal. Second goal is to save up a savings account of $10,000, which I know is quite a chunk. But with Dane moving into this field, it is completely commission based after his learning period. So he will only make money when he sells vehicles. So there's the potential that you could have hard times. And so I want to have money to fall back on during that period of time is my plan. So I want to have $10,000 in the savings. That way, if, let's say, he has a bad month, he makes no money, we can then borrow that money out of our savings account and then just build it back up again, will be the plan. And then finally, after those two things, our final goal will be paying off debt. Because, of course, we still want to pay off our debt, get this all, paid off, especially with our new home. I'd love to get that paid off. Within that, though, before we actually pay off our home, we will be doing improvements on our home. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before. We want to add a garage. We want to demolish a couple walls, put in a master suite. There's a lot of things we want to do. I don't remember if I believe I did it when I was still talking to you guys, but we had done painting and carpeting and stuff in our new home for portions of it, and we want to do new carpeting out in our current living room. We had held off on it because it's where you enter in after you're in the pool area, and we're worried about moisture, but with this whole year, it hasn't been a problem. We put a rug by the front door, or by that door, and it's been fine. So we're going to probably put in carpeting. So that will be an expense coming up, something we want to save for. We're definitely having to change our way of doing things, at least until, well, hopefully forever, but at the very least until we find out how the pay is going to work for this. Because if he's not making money, we can't be spending money. It was different when we knew even on a bad week, he was going to bring home about $1,000. That's enough to pay everything. So I ran through the numbers and we figured out what he would need to make with what I was making for different points. I will be making more now because I'll be working a lot more hours. I'm going to go from working about 27 and a half hours a week to working 40 hours a week. So that'll be quite the bump in pay. But yeah, those are our goals. Let's go through the budget, and I'm sure I'll think of some other things I need to say during that period of time. But if you are interested in the cash stuffing aspect of it, look forward to those videos. Those will be coming very shortly. I'm going to start right up with it. I'm going to make a video showing getting our cash envelope set up, and then we will do next week's pay with the cash stuffing. So if you're interested in that and you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I don't want you guys to think that I didn't appreciate everyone's views and everything before, because I totally did, and you did help to keep me motivated. But it just got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I was getting stressed out about it, and I didn't want to be stressed about it. I'm like, this is supposed to be something fun for me to make my videos and stuff and enjoyable. And if it becomes a chore, then it just wasn't worth doing. And living my life was more important at that point in time. But fall is here. We have a lot of changes going on in our lives. And it is time to buckle down. So we have been eating out a lot. We're cutting back on that. We're eating at home a lot more. We still eat out, but trying to cut way back. Now, this budget is for October. Dane will still be getting paid at his current job for October. And then in November is when he will no longer be making any cash from his current job, and we will be lowering the budget slightly. I mean, there's a lot of it that can't really be lowered too much. I mean, bills are bills. They have a set amount. but other things will go down. So like gas will go way down, because while I'll still be driving my normal miles, Dane will now be 3 miles or a 3-minute drive away from the house. So he's really excited about that, to be able to come home on his lunch breaks. So he's really excited, and I'm excited for him on that. But let's go ahead and go over the budget. So for October, I've budgeted $6,000. That's $1,500 a week between the two of us. If you're new to the channel, I get paid every 2 weeks. Right now, I'm making about $720 every 2 weeks, and then Dane averages anywhere between $1,200 and $1,500 every week. So with our new positions, I'm assuming I will be averaging about $1,000 every 2 weeks, and Dane will be averaging $500 a week to start out. When you're in your training period where he's going, he'll get $500 plus he'll get some of the commission, and then once he's done with his training period, then he will go to just commission, and he'll get paid with that once a month. But you can pull from it. It's the whole thing. We'll get into that later. With the debt, with all of these, what I did is I took the amount and divided it by 4, and that's how much they're getting weekly. So for like the cash stuffing, we'll just do, if it's like $56.80, we'll just do $57, and then maybe that last week will only be $56. I'll figure it out as we go. But we've got the Trailblazer. These are our debts. We have the Trailblazer, the tractor, the HELOC, the 40 acres, and our mortgage. And then down here are the bills. So we've got gas right now at $500, so $125 a week. I drive a Trailblazer, and my husband drives a F-250, so his is not so great on gas. Groceries right now, I've budgeted $800. That's $200 a week. Eating out, I budgeted $350, which is cutting down a lot for us. That's $87.50 a week. We did get our first week. I'm thinking we may have gone over this week, but we'll see. But so our first week, we ate out twice. We had Chipotle, and then we did Red Lobster. So, but then we have our allowance money. That's $50 a week between the two of us. We each get $100 a month. That will be staying even when we go down on our budget next month. For one, my husband does Zyn Chew, and so that comes out of there. And I like to get lunch sometimes at work, and that comes out of there, or any other little things that we want to buy. So like the cash stuffing stuff that I ordered, this came out of my allowance money. I took advantage of the deals they had for October 10th and 11th, and so I got those. Next is the phone. Budgeted that at $290, $72.50 a week. Consumers this is for all 3 properties. I've budgeted $361.41, so that's $90.46 a week. I think this is actually way more than we're gonna need, so we'll go from there. But that being said, anything that's left over in these categories, I am going to roll over. That way it'll help us get through the harder times that are about to come up. AAA, this is all of our insurance. That is $348.50, a total of $87.13 a week. TV, $99.74, $24.87 a week. This is quite high right now. I think I actually did it this way when we budgeted together before too. Football season is upon us. We do not have regular TV. We just do streaming. And so the biggest portion of this is Hulu right now. I think it's like $85 for the Hulu Live, and then you get the Disney Plus with that. And then we also have Netflix. I just cannot bring myself to get rid of Netflix. We watch it a lot, and I can't bring myself to get rid of it. And then we also have Peacock. We have it at an introductory rate right now of 99 cents a month, so I'm not worried about that one. That'll actually be coming up, I think, soon, where it won't be 99 cents a month anymore. So I will be getting rid of it probably at that point, because we really don't watch it that much. But for $1 a month, I'm letting it slide for right now. What else? So then we have DTE. This is our natural gas. I budgeted 150. This is actually way more than we need, but this will be going up because it's getting cold now. So we've turned the furnace on. So this will be going up, and our electric bill will be going down because we're not running the air conditioning anymore. Next is city water. I've got this at 60. I'm trying to decide if I need to up this or if I want. So we have to pay for our trash pickup where I live. We buy tags and we put the tags onto our trash bins. Usually I put that in with the city water, but I didn't for some reason. And so I'll either up this or I will take that money out of other. Then we have Spectrum. That's just $49.99. That is our internet. That's not going anywhere. We have to have internet. And then last is other. This is, so it's $400. It's $100 a week. It's not enough. I've told my husband, I'm like, this is an unrealistic number for us because this covers everything. I'm going to run you guys through each one in just a moment where we're at right now. But this covers everything. This covers home improvement repairs. This covers household items. This covers Dane's getting a new job, so he needs work clothes. Everything. Anything that is not covered in one of these categories goes into other. Eventually, I want to turn this into other subcategories. Like I want to have medical. I want to have home improvement, things like that. Like I want to actually have them broke down so we can save up for specific things. I want to get into more of a envelope style of doing things, but for right now it's just easier to lump it all together and we're putting it in other. And like I said, this is not enough. I know we're going to go over it. We already have. And then because I completely forgot about it, we've only paid it twice now. We got life insurance, so that's $54.07 a month. We will not be getting rid of this because it is hard for us to get health insurance. My husband has sleep apnea, and so it's really hard to get insurance. We've got this through his union, and so we will be keeping it. So this will get added into the bills for next month, but I didn't remember it. So this $54.07 is not actually included in our $1,500 a week. But I just took it out of, my sister owed us her portion of the phone bill from last month. And so when she put that money in, I just took it out of that and put the rest of it into our savings. So what I'm doing right now, whatever we make, so like last week, Dane made for October week 1, he made $1,599 and some change. So I took that $99 and change and moved it into our savings account and left that $1,500 in our checking. That is our working money. And then I went through each one. So like we got the gas. Week 1 we had $125. But we had already spent, we're still behind a little bit. So we're kind of back paying right now. I know it doesn't, this is not how we want to budget. This is just where we're at right now, and we're working our way forward. It's not perfect. I'm not happy about it, but we're working forward with it, and that's the best we can do right now. We can't make magic happen. I'm not going to go into debt to pay off debt, you know. So either way, we're floundering, but we haven't drowned yet. So my husband filled his truck up twice, and I filled up the car. We spent over that 125. So what I did is this 125, I wrote it down on a list, and this amount went onto our credit card because we buy our gas on our credit card. So the 125 went to the credit card. That left us with a negative balance of $46.61, and we'll go forward from there. Hope that makes sense. Next is groceries. So we actually, we bought a few things, and we only actually spent $51.21 that first week. And so we were left with a positive balance of $148.79. So visually wise, it'll look like, so when I stuff our envelopes coming up to get us started, we'll have $149 in that envelope. And then when I unstuff it is when I will pull these things out. I hope that makes sense. But yes, so we did good on that, but then I went and did my grocery shopping after. Eating out, we actually did have a positive balance at the end of last week of $1.67, and then we've eaten out. So like I said, we're working on our other property. So last weekend we went and worked on the property, and we ate out while we were doing that. This is where it's expensive. This is allowance. This isn't expensive. But all of these are me. Dane has 2. He bought some lottery tickets. He stacked up on Chew, so he hasn't had to buy any of that. I, however, paid for my Cricket membership, and then I ate out quite a few times. Used a lot of my coupons, though. Definitely download the apps. It makes a big difference. And then I just recently downloaded Fetch as well. If I can, I'll put my link down below, where I'll put my code on the screen or something. But I started doing that, so I'm going to try and get some stuff with that. And then I cashed out my Ibotta. I had like $56 in my Ibotta cash, so I cashed that out. And then I also cashed out the cash back on my credit card. So I put that into our bank account and put those amounts into the savings. So I'm trying to use highlighters and stuff. So like I highlighted it in yellow because we were left with a positive balance at the end of week 1. So this one is highlighted in pink because we got lunch at work. One of the other girls paid, and so I paid her back. And so this came directly out of our checking account, where the rest of them go onto our credit card. So like this, for the allowance, what I did was that $30.14 that we had spent is what went onto the credit card. I am keeping track of the credit card as well to make sure that we do pay off the full balance, because I don't think we're actually going to spend enough this month to pay off last month's balance. So the extra will just have to be paid off. So then we've got things like the phone. This one, we're just adding the money in. Majority of them are like that right now. So like this is my planner, and I put in here the bills that were due, so, and then I'm checking them off as we go, and then these are what we got paid. So a good example of where I'm going to go with this is where it's going to be a little bit different to kind of get us where we need to be. DTE is coming up. Tomorrow is the 13th, and then the 14th, we'll be paying this one this week. So DTE, I'm going to keep that in mind. We're going to be paying DTE this week. So we've got each of these, we're putting our money in. So like TV, we paid for Hulu. Well, here we go, TV. This is a good example. So we have $24.87 in the account right now for it. We put $82.99 onto the credit card. At the end of this week, I'm going to add in that extra $24.87, But then the extra balance that's due on these particular ones that are just once a month bill, they're not variable bills. I'm going to just pay the extra out of the savings. That way, I feel like it'll be better to visually represent this, so make sure you check out the videos where I'm gonna do the cash stuffing and unstuffing. But I'm going to make sure that these ones go to a zero balance. That way, moving forward, when I put my $25 a week in, it's going to actually build up and be able to pay for next month. So we're just paying them when they come due this month, and then moving forward, it'll save up the money to pay for it. That was what I was going to show you with DTE. I knew that was a bill that was coming up. So, which actually I think we have enough because it was not a very big bill. I think it was only like 30 or 40 bucks. It wasn't very much. So we will have enough. But TV is a better example. So let's go back to that one real quick. So coming up tomorrow on Friday, we'll basically have about $50 in this account. And so that $50 will go towards Hulu, and I will pull out the extra $33 from my savings account to pay that. That way we can go forward and save up for next month. I hope that makes sense. Because I know some people will do different amounts each week that they budget, and I might eventually get there, but what works best for me and in my mind is I like to have the same amount every week. I like to be, this is how much we made, and this is how much we're going to pay. That's why the $1,500, the extra is just going into the savings, and that's kind of our slush fund for when we're short of that amount, we can pull from there. Because I feel like that's kind of how we're going to have to budget going forward, with him getting paid majority of his money once a month. We're going to have to take that money and then live off of it for the next month. So we'll have to pull it out in a weekly increment. So then we have DTE, city water. So this is another one that will just get paid because $30 is not enough to pay the bill. So it will just get paid. It'll go back to a zero balance and we'll just add on to it. Okay, so this is the big one. This is the other. Sorry, I got to fold the paper because I have part of our address on here and I didn't think about that. So, like, we've got different things on here. Like I said, Dane got a new job, but he had his interview, so he had to have some nice clothes, and he's going to have to buy more nice clothes because he has to dress nicely now. But we're doing things like home improvement, so we spent money at Menards. This is where everything goes. I bought Tide, Allegra. We spent a lot on work clothes. A lot of these got sent back, though, because they didn't fit. That's how I spent my Columbus Day on Monday, was returning things. Like the chiropractor, we went to Kohl's for work clothes, more work clothes, car washes, just a lot of different things like that. This one, the DoorDash pass, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to cross this one off because it sent me a thing saying it was like charging me, and I went in and canceled it before the free trial was done, and it went off of my credit card, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to cross this one off. But then we had a lot of returns, so like we had the Amazon returns, we had Kohl's refund. I ordered him another pair of pants that didn't fit, so I'm going to be sending those back. Out of everything that I ordered him, the only thing he kept was a pair of dress shoes and a belt. That was the only things that he kept so far. But we've got to get him some more nice clothes. So this category is where everything else comes to die, basically. Eventually, like I said, I want to have a whole binder of money that's just other, and it will have subcategories like home improvement, household items, medical, work clothes, and then other, like the car wash will fall into other, Tide and stuff will fall into other. But that's what my goal is to have these things eventually be sinking funds, but for right now, they all just go into one. Like I said, this is just what works best for me right now. And then finally is my Chase card. This is what I thought our starting balance was going to be. It was not. This is what it was when the statement balance came out. Week 1, this is what we paid towards it. So the different things that we paid, like the medical, or not medical, sorry, the groceries, the gas, those amounts of money that we put towards things. So this shows you what we had. So this was what I put on it. I had 125 from gas, 51.21 from grocery, 85.83 from eating out, 30.14 from allowance, and $100 from other. So we put 392.18. Sorry, the dogs are barking. And so that was put towards the Chase card. At the end of the month, whatever we haven't paid, I will pay in one lump sum. I will not pay interest on this. The thing that's going to help us get through is the fact that for Dane's Union, they get a vacation fund, and we'll be getting that next month. So that's going to help us get through for right now. And hopefully he'll start making money quickly. But that was kind of like a quick overview. Probably not that quick, but that was my little overview of what we've been doing and what our budget is looking like for this month. Next month will be a completely different story. But we're going to get there, and I hope you guys will come along for the journey with me. If you're already a subscriber, I really appreciate you guys sticking around and coming back to watch another one of my videos. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button and come check out the rest of my videos. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.